From Braemar Arena, the game of the year possibly in front of us, perhaps a title preview along with Bart Archer and Dan Sheldon and Todd Grover, the best in the business. I'm Patrick Willia, happy to be along with you this evening. So the Skippers come in. They've lost just the one game. It was to Edina 2.5 weeks ago, but they've had a lot of struggles in the third period over their last few games. They gave up those 4 to Edina. They gave up that late goal to Wayzata that ended up being a tie. They watched Eden Prairie come back to tie it in the third from a 2-0 deficit before the Skippers pulled that one out in overtime. Why are the Skippers struggling to close these games out?
Well, I think first and foremost, they kind of have a big target. Everybody brings their best game against the defending champions and kind of reeled off many wins in a row. But to dovetail back, I mean, Edina was down 2-1 going into the third period. Jungle scored early in the third, and then the momentum started to build for the Edina Hornets. And I do not remember the Wayzata game. It's not coming to mind. But Eden Prairie was down 2-0 in the third period. Jack Jensen scored a big goal, gave him the tie. And I thought Eden Prairie kind of flexed their muscles a little bit, but as good teams do, Minnetonka came back in overtime in transition and put the puck in the net. But this team is just, going through the season undefeated. I think the best thing that actually happened to the Skippers was taking that loss. It took all the emphasis off the undefeated season and got people kind of grounded a little bit and refocused. But this is a very, very good Minnetonka Skipper team. I mean, you can't be 18-1-2 with the schedule that they have and not be a good quality opponent. So I think it just comes down to a little bit of confidence, getting a full roster without Lagerbach, without Lidke for a while, other concerns kind of working in. So Coach Goldsworthy has really had to kind of do a terrific job, which he generally does. But Minnetonka is ready to go. And they have a full complement of players, but it promises to be just a track meet tonight, and it's going to be a great game to watch. So buckle down, everybody. It's going to be a good pace tonight.
Speaking of Teddy Lagerbach, he missed that game back at Pagel on the 24th, recovering from that injury from Hockey Day, Minnesota. We won't rehash the circumstances of that injury. I think that's kind of been discussed at length up to this point. But Minnetonka, of course, certainly to have him back, and happy to have him back and producing. So what kind of challenges will that pose for the Hornets now that they will have to play him this time?
Well, I think when we were back at Pagel, as you said, about 2.5 weeks ago, Minnetonka had a power play at an opportune time, and normally it's Lagerbach on that right side. Most of the play was focused on that right side. Now when you put in a Streeter or a Newhouse or a Hendrickson or a Kittleson, those are very good quality players. But the fact that Lagerbach can dangle in a phone booth, he can snipe with the best in the state, I think they missed him in that instance. But every team has its challenges throughout the course of the year, and that's just the challenge that faced Minnetonka. But Edina's been without Mike Vorlicki, a stalwart defender for a period of time, and it's the next man up, and that's the benefit of having a good deep program is you have a base of resources which to draw from. And Minnetonka didn't really miss a beat. I think it affected them more psychologically than anything else, not having their leaders, but they have them all back now, so I'm sure that both teams are going to come out with a whole bunch of energy. The first 5 minutes is going to be absolutely entertaining.
So these Minnetonka's last win here at Braemar was a 6-1 win on February 11th of 2016. So it's been a little while since Minnetonka walked out of here with the bigger number on the scoreboard, but a couple of familiar faces listed in the box score for that game. At least rode the bench for that game. Grant Doctor of Minnetonka, Jet Jungles of Edina. No, we don't know if they actually played, but they were listed in the box score, so they were there at least. Now, the last question, it seems like maybe a strange statement to make given the two teams and their pedigrees, but who do you think has the bigger statement to make this evening?
Well, I think Minnetonka's got to get back. Just to get back to Minnetonka hockey, I think both teams have a statement to make tonight. But that's why they show up. But I think it means a little bit more to Minnetonka. Obviously, in Pagel Arena, have Edina come in and have their way with them. I think turnaround's fair play. They're getting a chance to level the playing field a little bit. But, Patrick, if you go back to 2010, I did a little digging on this. I think the overall record between these two squads is 12-12-1. And, they just kind of trade punches. Sometimes Minnetonka will dominate the year. Other times they just kind of trade blows. Other times Edina will. So, really two kind of mirror programs. But both teams obviously have the depth, the skill. I think that Edina might have a bit of an advantage, just a minor advantage at forward as far as depth and skill. But Minnetonka has a little bit of an advantage, perhaps depth and skill on the back line. So I think it really comes down to the two goaltenders that are going to play tonight. I think that's where the game is going to be won or lost.
There is not an empty seat in this building as far as the eye can see. Certainly that will play into the Hornets' advantage tonight. They'll get that crowd into it. So how can Minnetonka take the crowd out of this game early?
Well, I will say first and foremost that Minnetonka is pretty well represented here as well, and it looks like everybody drove themselves because there's not a lot of room to park in a very spacious parking lot. But I think that's the idea of both teams. You want to get a good early start. You want to take the crowd out of it. I think it's important for Minnetonka, obviously, to do that maybe a little quicker. But there's great representation by the Skippers faithful here. And they're on this side, and we're in the hostile environment here in Minnetonka, but it's good to be here. And Minnetonka fans are very smart, so they know good hockey when they see it, and they're going to be treated to a nice one tonight.
Well, the players will be introduced, and we'll have the national anthem. So we're going to take a timeout here on MNHockey.tv and be right back.
Defenseman number 3, Josh Ledke. The center, number 24, A.J. Kittleson. At forward, number 8, Griffin Streeter. And at forward, number 29, Jack Bayless. The head coach is Sean Goldtree. The assistants are Jack Hillen, Mike Johnson, and Steve Aronson. Now, the starting lineup for Edina. In goal, number 1, Logan Ho. Defenseman number 2, Jake Bowman. Defenseman number 21, Mason Riders. The center, number 18, Mason Nevers. The left wing, number 22, Chad Jungles. And the right wing, number 14, Michael Shoemaker. The head coach is Kurt Giles. The assistants are Dave Terwilliger, Dick Blueston, Josh Harding, and Greg Aslickson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and face the south end of the arena as the Edina High School Concert Choir leads us in our national anthem. Let's do this together. Let's play.
The Let's Play Hockey chant is off and ready to go. Got number 1 Edina, number 2 Minnetonka. Minnetonka just the one loss on the season. Edina coming in with losses to Hill Murray and Chaska earlier in the season.
Well, and they were up 3-0 on that Chaska team, so that was kind of a harsh life lesson that Edina learned. And again, it gets back to getting him refocused and on point. But Patrick, these two teams kind of mirror each other. Minnetonka 105 goals scored, Edina 113, both averaging about 35, 36 shots a game and giving up around 20. But something's got to give tonight. It's going to be a war of attrition tonight. But the first 5 minutes is going to be paramount for both of these teams. Edina likes to come out of the gate, and I think out of the last 20-some games, they have probably 21 goals that are scored in the first 3 minutes of a period, so Minnetonka is going to be on point, and that's exactly what Vorlicki did last time they played, so Minnetonka, I'm sure, is cognizant of that, but both teams are going to come out with some fire. Buckle up, here we go. It's going to be fun.
I think we're pumped in the booth with just about anybody else in the building. As Vorlicki, we didn't talk about this much, but he returned this week from missing those couple of games as Glockner out of his net. Charlie Glockner, again, the stellar goaltender for Minnetonka, as Bayless chips this one up ahead towards Streeter. Streeter up the near side boards as he comes in. Thought I heard a whistle. They play on. Here's Streeter on the near side, gets it back to Doctor. Not quite able to be held in at the blue line as it chipped up to the far side and into the offensive zone as Jungles. He has to work his way around Lidke and dumps it back around to the near side. Let's chip back out into the neutral zone where Boltman slows it down. This one goes off the skate of Lidke as Skippers will set up again in their own zone. It's banked off the near side boards, back out into the neutral zone as Liam Malmquist will work it back into his own zone as it'll be sent for an icing and a face-off back in the Edina zone with 16:04 to go here in the first period.
Well, one thing back at Pagel that Edina did so well is they just pushed the puck deep in the Minnetonka zone and made him come the full 200 feet. And Edina very responsible in the neutral zone, but Edina forced Minnetonka to the walls. They pushed the puck to the walls and forced Minnetonka to win those battles. Edina won more than they lost. But something to watch as this period unfolds.
Good job by Braden Lacombe to set up that long shot by Miller as the Edina able to chip it back down into the Minnetonka zone. Glockner out of his net once again as Brett Chorsky kind of chased it around the net just a little bit. Put a little bit of pressure on the Minnetonka goaltender. This one up ahead toward Lagerback. Talked about him in the beginning as he takes a big hit from Boltman and loses his stick in the process. And we're going to have a penalty coming up here against Edina.
Well, it's going to be a retaliatory penalty. It was Boltman that took Lagerback in very hard on the boards, and I think it was Henriksen that might have taken some exception, but there is going to be a penalty call. It's just a question of who's going to get it, it looks like. But Lagerback, he's a tough young man. He got up pretty quick, but again, we're going to see, and it looks like it's going to be a Minnetonka penalty, but nobody's volunteering to go to the box, or else it's going to be an Edina penalty.
Well, they are moving the play down into the Minnetonka zone. The door is open, and they haven't sent anybody there yet.
Nobody wants to fess up as it stands. But it was a big hit, though. It is going to be Mason Henriksen. It's going to spend 2 minutes in the box, and the Edina power play has risen to 30%, so you want to play sound defensively as far as being shorthanded, but a very impressive 87.3% penalty kill for Minnetonka. They got their work cut out for him as Edina gets an early power play. 15:36 left in this first period. We're scoreless, but Edina on the power play offensive zone faceoff.
So Hendrickson for cross-checking, and Edina goes on the power play, the first of the game here in this young game as Minnetonka gets a full-length clear right out of the gate. Down there trying to force a mistake is Nick Henry. Some good defensive play there, shorthanded, as here comes Mason Nevers with Jet Jungles into the offensive zone. Jungles gets tied up on the far side, trying to work his way around Lidke. So got Doctor down there as well, and Doctor able to take that one away, showing why he's one of the top defensemen in Minnesota. Doctor with a shot just goes wide, shorthanded. What a good play by Doctor there, Bart.
Boy, that didn't miss by much. He's going to spearhead a lot of the play tonight, but he actually removed Chorsky from the puck, so it was a very nice defensive play by him. Nice stick-side check.
Here's Bayless into the offensive zone, shorthanded again. Bayless, though, with Lagerback, loses control of the puck and taken back the other direction by Edina into the offensive zone. Here's Jet Jungles. Jungles working his way in. He'll circle the net as play is stopped. Net coming loose just enough to draw the ire of the officials.
Hence the whistle. But it's going to be Williams on the point. Kurt Giles employing 4 forwards. Mason Nevers back on the back line. Now Vorlicki spells Williams. So Kurt Giles knows the opportunity that he has in front of him. He's putting all the big guns out there.
Face-off pushed back down into the near side corner. Malmquist trying to get it back to the point. Vorlicki with it as he dumps it down to the near side. Here's Jungles with it. Jungles gets it to Malmquist, who can't handle the pass. And the net gets it to Nevers. Nevers, beautiful pass that's intercepted. Here comes Bayless with Lagerback at the blue line. Bayless to Lagerback, and the redirect sent wide. Back around to the near side with speed. Here comes Mason Nevers up the near side boards. As he takes a hit, got knocked off the puck. So the puck played down the near side, and Minnetonka able to get another clear with 30 seconds to go in the power play.
Boy, it's been a good kill for Minnetonka. Actually, they've had the better scoring opportunities. Edina's got to mind their defensive responsibilities, even on the power play. Just 22 seconds left of the penalty to Henriksen and Minnetonka.
Jungles was able to play it in deep. Verlicki with it at the red line as he looks to bring it into the offensive zone. He does. He's trying to work his way around. Doctor centering feed will be blocked, sent back around the net. Verlicki, though, able to maintain possession as he tries to get it behind him to Malmquist into the offensive zone. Here's Lidke. Lidke working his way around. He'll send a shot wide. Very active offensive defenseman for the Skippers here in the early going.
Well, and not only that, but Lidke had Doctor on the wing too, so as the two defensemen pushing the rush, being a man down, very aggressive.
As back at full strength are the Skippers. There's Lidke on the far side. Up ahead toward A.J. Kittleson. Kittleson into the offensive zone. Here's, I think, a shot that's saved by Loudon Hogue. It comes down to round to the near side. First time Hogue has really been tested. Got a couple of good chances, but the Edina defense have been able to break those up as Morton comes in offside.
Well, that was a good challenge by Lidke on that one. It was Morton that tried to gain the zone, but it was Colby that just snuck in a step ahead, so faceoff's going to be outside the zone. Edina's having a little trouble finding some rhythm right now, but Minnetonka skating very fluidly. Nice zone exits, even a man down. They were pushing the play back up the ice, so Edina's got to kind of find their rhythm, but Minnetonka showed up to play.
James Miller sends the pass up to the near side. Here's Mac Motzko as he gets knocked off the puck nicely by Drew Bishop, and here come the Hornets into the offensive zone. There's a shot that'll go wide by Jackson Borst. It'll work its way back up to the far side corner and now rings its way back around to the near side. Motzko getting tied up on the near side by Borst. Skipper's looking to break out of the zone. There's Hunter Newhouse. Newhouse into the offensive zone. He'll take a shot that'll go well wide out of the near side corner. 12 and a half minutes to go here in the first period. No score. Edina 0 for 1 on the power play thus far. Edina able to dump this one in. Long pass through the neutral zone. That'll be tipped in at the line, so no icing. A good job by Mason Hendrickson getting things tied up behind the net. And Minnetonka able to take this one away in the zone. Lacombe trying to set this one up, but he tried to sneak this one up toward Hendrickson. It ends up on the far side boards. Puck still loose on the far side board and now taken away by the Hornets. Trying to get it down to Malmquist, who couldn't quite catch up to the pass. Malmquist will throw this one into the neutral zone. That'll get behind Kevin Delaney. It'll work its way all the way down into the Minnetonka zone. Miller back to get it. Malmquist racing to the puck, able to maintain the offensive zone for Edina. And Skippers with Lager back through the neutral zone. He'll take a long shot on Hogue, who will glove it.
Well, Minnetonka seems to turn the play up. Really brought their transition game. Loudon Hogue, as you said, hasn't seen a lot of shots, but there's been a lot of activity down in the Edina zone. He's made the saves that he needed to make. Just one Owley one that he kind of fooled him a little bit, but Minnetonka's getting the offensive zone chances. They're getting speed through the neutral zone with possession. Edina's got to solve that mystery. They haven't found their rhythm yet.
Face-off pushed back deeper into the Edina zone as Bayless battling through Mason Nevers. It gets through Kittleson. Mason Reiners has it now as he tries to almost get tied up by Kittleson as well. He's Nevers through the neutral zone. He gets it up toward Jungles. Jungles getting headed off by Doctor on those far side boards in the corner. It's Reiners. He'll take a shot that'll go wide of Glockner and end up on the far side corner. Minnetonka unable to clear the zone as Boltman able to hold it. Boltman trying to center it for Jungles, and it sneaks through all the way down to the near side. Nevers will play it around the net. It'll get by Jungles. Trying to clear this one out is Griffin Streeter, and he'll get it back out to neutral ice where Edina will reset as this one dumped in deep by Michael Shoemaker.
Well, Edina's diversified their lines. It's usually Colby on a line with Chorsky, but they've actually moved Shoemaker up to this line. Get a little grit on there to go along with Jungles and Nevers. Ooh.
Nearly an offensive zone turnover that could have been very dangerous, as nearly catching up to that one was Nick Henry. As the Hornets able to clear it out, and will go wide for an icing.
Boy, Edina dodged the bullet on that one. They put it right on the stick of the Minnetonka player, and he just had trouble corralling it up, and that was Nick Henry in a good spot on that one, but the puck bounced on him. Otherwise, it would have been a golden opportunity for him. Face-off in the Edina zone. Shots on goal, 2 for Minnetonka, none for the home team, but face-off now to Loudon Hogue's left. 10:29 left in the scoreless first period. It's been all Minnetonka so far.
Newhouse takes a face-off against Morton, pushed up into that far side corner. As battling down there is Henry, along with Morton and a couple of other Hornets players. As Verlicki getting tied up by Henry as he tried to work his way into the corner to get that puck, and Verlicki will end up with it. He'll float it out to neutral ice. Back to pick it up is Jack Anderson. Anderson trying to steer it through neutral ice. He'll knock it down at the red line. He'll throw this one in deep, and as it floats up, I think that they're going to say that hit one of the light structures, so we will have a face-off.
Well, Jack Anderson, junior defenseman. Normally that's a spot for Dylan Zitzloff, another junior defenseman. I don't see Zitzloff's on the bench, so a great opportunity for Jack Anderson to show his skills in front of his coach. But when I say it's all Minnetonka, Minnetonka just seems to have a better rhythm going on right now than the Edina Hornets. They're doing a good job of getting on the Edina puck carriers, making them very uncomfortable so far. Edina will find their rhythm. It's just a question of holding Minnetonka off.
It's Malmquist able to dump this one in deep. Miller gets tied up in the corners. It comes free in front of Delaney, whose shot is blocked out front. It's still loose. It comes free for Chorsky, and his shot is blocked as well. It's down there are both Hendrickson and Krull, who got in the way of those shots. It's Lacombe through the neutral zone.
Oh.
Just barely coming in onside there, Bart.
Yeah, barely. They play on.
As Malmquist able to carry this one back into the offensive zone for Edina, where Glockner plays it back around to the near side. Lacombe gets headed off at the blue line by Boltman. Edina possesses in their own zone. Reiner's pass intercepted. Didn't realize that the teammate hadn't got back on side. I think it was Lagerback who was too deep in the zone and too late to hold up, and Minnetonka comes in offside.
Yeah, and Lidke with a nice forward push. Just couldn't corral the puck back, but Lagerbach couldn't get out of the zone, so face-off outside the Edina zone.
Edina controls the neutral zone face-off with Vorlicki, and then he loses control of the puck, and Bayless able to play it back behind the net, where Williams will play this one through as Lidke will take it back at center ice for Minnetonka. He'll get it to Doctor on the near side. Doctor back to Lidke. Now Doctor back with it. Let's flip this one out to neutral ice. Kittleson into the offensive zone. Kittleson play this one through the corner. As Streeter behind his own net tried to catch up to it ahead of Vorlicki. It's sent back on the far side boards, and now it works its way around all the way to the near side. Williams trying to clear this one out. Doctor able to hold the zone momentarily. Kittleson back to get it at neutral ice, but Nevers able to take it away. Nevers working his way in. Nevers had the puck taken away on his drive to the net.
Well, that was a nice play by Glockner. Nevers tried to dangle and go backhand on that one far side, but Glockner did a good job of keeping his positioning on that one. Hasn't been tested a lot, but that was a pretty good test that he passed. So the faceoff's going to come all the way down into the Minnetonka zone. There's not a lot of room to move out there, but there's speed. The team that can create the space or get to space is going to have a greater chance of success. So far it's been Minnetonka, but Edina's showing a little bit of life on the offensive side.
As Morton able to win the face-off for Edina. Shot through traffic, deflected wide off the stick of Johnson. His way back up into the corner. Pass to the near side, not quite able to clear the zone, but the Skippers were able to maintain possession of it. Here's Miller. Miller's long pass out to the far side boards. Out of the near side into the offensive zone is Motzko, but he came in offside. They'll be getting a little bit too cute there with those passes.
Well, and Newhouse just snuck in a little bit over, so I kind of stopped a pretty good onward rush. Edina kind of back on their heels a little bit, so a bit of a break for the Edina Hornets. Face off outside the zone. We are down to 8:03 in the scoreless first period. Been a good one so far, Patrick. Things are going to open up as this game progresses, but so far, as I said, not a lot of room to move out there.
Absolutely. Remember, it was just 2-1 after that game back on the 24th. That was after 2 periods. Was it 1-0, I believe, after the first period of that game in favor of?
No, it was 1-1 at the end of the period, and then Minnetonka scored the lone goal in the second.
The team's kind of feeling each other out maybe a little bit here in the early going. As here's Lacombe working his way through center. He'll flip this one down in over the glove of Boltman, who tried to knock it down sort of half-heartedly. Here's Delaney gets it down to Malmquist on the near side. Malmquist trying to work his way around Doctor. Centering feed, that's blocked out front.
Boy, Malmquist on the big skate, put on Chorsky's stick. A nice one-time shot, but Glockner made himself big, made a nice save on that one.
Hendrickson got tied up, but able to work through the check, gain to the offensive zone. He continues to battle down on the near side boards. Puck sent up to the far side. Reiner's trying to clear it for Edina, able to be held in by the Skippers. Head for Lagerback. Lagerback, though, got tied up. And Delaney will get it to Malmquist once again to get through neutral ice. He'll throw this one down in deep. We're under 7 minutes to go here in the first period. As I said, both teams kind of feeling each other out. Not a lot of great offensive opportunities either way thus far. As Jungle will take it away in his own zone, trying to clear it, but able to be held in at the last-ditch effort by the Skippers. It's Doctor, and back to Lidke. It's Lidke, he works his way around Shoemaker with a nice little move. Skipper's able to gain the offensive zone briefly. Back out at neutral ice. Here's Doctor with it. As he's trying to work his way through Shoemaker. And Nevers kind of trips him
lucky
up.
on that one. Holy
no
cow.
penalty called there. Pass back out to neutral ice for Bayless. Ends up with Doctor. Doctor's shot, that'll go wide. We've seen these defensemen so far, Doctor and Lidke, creeping up on offense like that, and Doctor again with another good look there.
Well, they're very aggressive and they play with a lot of confidence, but it changes the way Edina has to defend through the neutral zone. They have to account for him, and it certainly creates some space, but a nice drag and change of direction on that one. Just a wide shot by Doctor, but he's going to be very involved in both in all zones tonight. We're going to say his name a whole bunch. Great player.
Jungles ends up with the puck for Edina on the near side. He chips this one into the offensive zone, but the skipper's there to take it away. Here's Henry working his way into the offensive zone, but again coming in offside as Motzko just had a little bit of an extra step.
Well, that's where Edina uses that blue line as a natural line of defense. They step up and force a cut, but it was Motzko that just snuck in. But that's 3 offsides in this period so far from Minnetonka. You know, what you're doing is you're stopping a good forward rush. They had a 3-on-2 possibility going on, but going in offsides makes it very easy for Edina to defend and get some fresh legs out there. But Minnetonka, just pay particular attention to stay on sides, and you're going to get your opportunities. And there's not going to be a lot of them in this game, so you got to take advantage of when they present themselves.
Absolutely. As the face-off pushed back into the Edina zone, trying to get it ahead for Lagerback, but Edina able to push it back with Morton. Morton into the offensive zone with Rugemer. Trailing on the shot attempt was Colby, who pushed it wide. 5:10 to go now in the first period of this fast-moving first period. Just had the one penalty. Went to Mason Hendrickson of Minnetonka. Trying to get that one off for Hendrickson. As Lacombe with a shot knocked down with the glove by Hogue. It's played back down to the near side, back into the neutral zone. There's Doctor with it for Minnetonka. He gets it up to Lagerback. Lagerback trying to work his way around Reiners, but couldn't quite do it.
He's not done yet.
Oh, but that was a good effort by Lagerback. Thought he might have been done from that play as there's a shot deflected high up into the rafters.
Well, Lagerback's one of those interesting, unique talents where you cannot check the puck with Teddy Lagerback. You have to take the body, go right for the crest, and get in his way because he can dangle, as I said, in the phone booth. He's got terrific offensive skills, but Edina played that actually pretty well. Ramped up and out of play by the Hornet defender, so face-off now to Hogue's left. Just 4:37 left in the period. Shots are knotted at 3, and we're still scoreless.
Kittleson taking the face-off against Chorsky. It's pushed back around the Edina net. Williams trying to track it down to the near side in front of Bayless. It's Lidke getting it up for Kittleson, who will take a shot that'll go wide off the end boards. Orlicki trying to get it up ahead toward Delaney. It did exit the zone as Minnetonka was taken out of the zone anyways. For Orlicki into the offensive zone, trying to work his way around Lidke, and the centering feed for Chorsky just unable to click on that one. Minnetonka back out at neutral ice. Here's Kittleson into the offensive zone with a nice move at the blue line, working his way around Williams. Kittleson, as this one tipped, is trying to get it back to Doctor. Doctor will play it back around the net toward Bayless. Lidke, back to Doctor on the near side. Doctor shot through traffic. It's still loose in front of Hogue, and I think he got on top of it. He did.
Well, and I think it was Streeter that was down low taking Chorsky, and we also had Vorlicki down, and it was Hogue that was leaning to his left. It was a really good shot by Doctor on that one. Caught the goaltender sliding one way, but he made the initial save, but had to regroup and recover to cover that puck. Trying moment for the Edina Hornets, but Minnetonka moving the puck with some efficiency in the Edina zone, getting Edina to chase the play a little bit. Edina's got to settle down and mind their positions, but Hogue picked them up when they needed to.
Newhouse able to take this one away as he's trying to work his way back to the point, and Edina able to take it away. Here's Shoemaker. Up to Jungles. Jungles will work his shot wide around the net. It'll come back around to the near side. It's Minnetonka with Miller in the corner trying to break out of the zone. Comes Henry into the offensive zone where it's sent back the other direction by Drew Bishop. And coming in offside there is Nevers.
Wow, it was a nice job by Jungles. It was Minnetonka that was closing quickly, and he put the puck over to Shoemaker. Shoemaker up to Nevers, but again, Edina just snuck in, giving Minnetonka a return to that favor. But that stopped the forward progress for the Hornets. 3:13 left in the first period. Minnetonka just seems to be playing the skipper's game. Edina's still struggling to find their game right now, especially in the offensive zone.
It's Miller being it back around to the far side, rather. That's Krull, and Edina able to send it back in deep. Miller back to get it. Got Krull and Lacombe in the zone with him. As Jungle's trying to create some havoc behind the net. There's Nevers chasing Miller. We'll get back around to the near side boards. Lacombe Poke it back out to neutral ice, or it's taken away there by Jungles, who will bring it into the offensive zone, opposed by Krull, who does a good job of keeping him off the puck as it works its way behind the net. It's Hendrickson trying to get it ahead for Lagerback. Lagerback couldn't quite handle the pass as he had Boltman all over him, as it sent back deep into the Minnetonka zone. 2:27 to go here in the first period. No score. Minnetonka perhaps the best offensive chance of the game just a moment ago with a loose puck in front of Hogue.
Sure got the crowd's attention, didn't it?
Oh, sure did.
On both sides.
He comes back to Doctor on the near side. Doctor shot the traffic. They score! I think that'll be Hendrickson who ultimately got the deflection on the long shot by Doctor, and Minnetonka takes the lead at 1-0.
Well, I think you're right. It was initiated by Doctor from the left point. Just sent a shot on goal, and it was a redirect, whether it went off an Edina stick or Mason. Hendrickson will have to wait for the official scoring. I don't think the skipper's care who scored it, but they got the tally on the board. 2:10 left, so plenty of time for Edina to answer back, but that's a big goal for Minnetonka. Quiet over on the Edina side right now. I think they're a little stunned, but it was a good goal. Minnetonka 1-0 lead, 2 minutes to go in the first.
Chorski into the offensive zone to Malmquist. Malmquist trying to center it as it ends up going off the side of the net.
Pretty good answer by Edina.
Absolutely. Give it to Doctor on the goal.
To number 3, Josh Lucky, and the second assist to number 24, A.J. Kittleson.
Lidke and Kittleson getting the assist. 10th goal of the season for Doctor. Kittleson, going to get to Bayless. Bayless backhand shot, trying to deflect it down low toward Streeter as it ends up in the corner. Now back out through the neutral zone. It's Miller back to get it. Miller behind his own net. Get behind him for Krull. As the Skippers push it back through the neutral zone. Edina able to play it back in deep. Out of his net. Plays it down to the near side to Motzko. Miller pokes it back up to the far side. Miller plays it into the neutral zone. This will get by Streeter. It'll work its way deep into the Edina zone as we go under a minute to go here in the first period. Out of his net to play that one is Glockner as he brings it around to the near side. Motzko helps that one into the neutral zone. Boltman will try to get to it first ahead of Henry. There's a shot that's safe with the glove by Hogue.
Wow, that was a good shot by Hunter Newhouse. 13 goals on the year, making a bid for his 14th. Tried to go glove side on Hogue, but Hogue, I think he needed that one. That's going to revamp a little bit of his confidence, so to speak, but he done a pretty good answer. They got down low, put some pressure on Glockner. Didn't go in, but at least it was a pretty good answer to let them know they're still here. 42.9 left in this first period. Minnetonka up by 1 offensive zone faceoff.
Newhouse wins the faceoff against Jungles. A shot off the faceoff blocked. Here come the Hornets through the neutral zone with speed. Nevers with a shot that's blocked.
That's a big block by Lidke.
He's back around to the near side as the puck's thrown toward the net. Ends up closer to the goaltender Glockner than I think Minnetonka thought or hoped would happen. He's back in the Edina zone. Now here's Newhouse on the near side. 18 seconds to go in the period. Newhouse gets it behind him for Motzko on the try to do the redirect setup, but that went out of reach. Under 10 seconds to go in the period. Had have taken a baseball swing at that one was Lidke. Here comes Edina, one last rush. There's a shot snagged with the glove by Glockner.
Well, just 1.3 seconds left. Some coaches actually pull their goalie, try to get that extra attacker, but I think it's going to be Hogue that's going to stay where he is. But Minnetonka, their zone exits are very clean, very efficient. They have Edina chasing the play, but they're getting into the open areas and actually gaining the neutral zone, and that's really ideally what you want. If you can get speed and continue with possession, it's a good situation. But the call to order first and foremost is to clear your zone efficiently. So far, Minnetonka's done a great job of that tonight.
We come to the end of a thrilling first period. Grant Doctor with his 10th goal of the season. That's the only tally of the period, and that puts Minnetonka on top, 1-0.
And it was Lidke and Kittleson on the assist, 14:50 of the first period. Patrick, I was doing a little digging in, but this defensive core for Minnetonka is responsible for about 25% of the goals scored on this Minnetonka team. So they're very involved in the offensive side of it. So having Doctor get that goal, and it must have gone in off an Edina stick trying to defend, but a big goal it was for Minnetonka as they go into the locker room with a 1-goal lead. I think Edina's got to regroup a little bit. They have to get their footing about them, but this is a good team that they're playing against. And but Minnetonka, I think, was a better team that period.
Any other thoughts if you had on this first period? I know certainly Edina, you talked about a lot, struggling to get in any rhythm, struggling to find their It's really much in that first period.
Well, Edina's doing a pretty good job of turning the play back up. If it's in the neutral zone, where they're struggling right now is in their own zone. Minnetonka really getting the puck to openings, getting some looks on goal, but Edina's struggling to get out of their zone cleanly with possession, where Minnetonka is coming out with possession and speed. So I think that's been the telltale for that first period. I think Edina's going to have to mind their own zone and kind of take it from there. But against this Minnetonka forecheck, that's easier said than done. But it promises to be a terrific second period. I think the call to order for the second period, Patrick, would be quick shifts, get off early, better early than late, but you don't want to try to defend either one of these teams' entire legs. So I think both teams are going to have to play very intelligent, very responsible, and just take some quick shifts, but it's going to be a good second period.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have about a 20-minute wait before we get to that second period, so we'll take a long timeout and come back with the puck drop for the second period. You're watching MNHockey.tv coverage. Everybody, welcome back inside Braemar Arena alongside Bart Archer and Patrick Lilia. One period of play, the Minnetonka Skippers leading at 1-0. Well, Bart, we talked about that first period. Edina just kind of unable to get going really much of anything.
Well, and I think that's more of a credit to the Skippers than it is Edina, really. Just Edina being contested on a very good Skipper forecheck. They're very aggressive. They've taken good angles and really creating some duress for Edina in their own zone. But this is the second period. There's going to be a little bit more space out there. But as we talked about before, the line changes, they're going to be a factor moving into it. But both teams have played very, very intelligent. I think Minnetonka had the advantage that period. Edina looking to kind of stem that tide and try to get some pucks to Charlie Glockner, who, when called upon, five shots on goal. None of them really that outstanding, but Charlie Glockner answered the bell. The quick summary of the period, it was Doctor's 10th from Litke and Kittleson at the 14-50 mark. Shots on goal. Minnetonka with 6, Edina with 5. Now, last 2.5 weeks ago, those shots were about 9, 10, 11, so it is a little bit more close to the best, but it's been an outstanding contest so far. A little bit more of a pitcher's duel than it is a wide-open game, I'd like to say, but Minnetonka, their zone exits are the key to their success so far tonight. They're looking for that trend to continue. Edina's just got to find a way to thwart that forward effort, but Minnetonka seems to have an advantage in the neutral zone, and that's where this game's going to be won or lost.
Got a few hellos to say in the final 30 seconds here before the start of the second period. I want to say hello to Webster from the Philippines. Also got some friends down in the Bahamas watching tonight from much warmer climes than we are this evening.
Jealousy. I'd like to extend a hello to Jim Hunt and Dorney out, Doug Dornstein out in Colorado. Bob Gibbons out in Marietta, California. Bart Ryan and Kyle Courtney down in Florida. Jeff Fernholz from the Twin Cities and Terry Gutterman watching this game tonight. We appreciate you joining us. As always, we appreciate the support. We got a great second period coming up. Moments away from the drop.
As we get underway here in the second period, is Edina able to push it down to the near side where Krull will have it for Minnetonka. He'll send it up in front of the net area for Miller as it's intercepted by the Hornets, but then taken back. Able to be held in, though, by Reiner. That's a nice play to take that puck back. As play continues down in the Edina zone, and now Kittleson able to take it away for the Skippers as he comes into the offensive zone with Streeter. Streeter will play it off the end boards. As Morton trying to chip this one up ahead toward Rugemer. As Edina will change, Minnetonka will work from behind the row net. Long pass out into the neutral zone for Bayless, who couldn't quite corral it. It works its way back into the Minnetonka zone. Now here's Kittleson with it. Kittleson takes a big hit at the blue line from Reiners as Boltman picks it up in his own zone. Sends it up to the far side boards. Shoemaker gets it to Nevers. Nevers into the offensive zone, trying to work his way around Doctor, who has the lone goal of the game thus far. Back to Williams. Williams shot through traffic, redirect, sent down to the near side corner as Jungles gets tied up with Doctor. Almost worked on that great setup there, Bart, as play continues down in the corner. A couple hits being thrown on, much to the delight of this crowd. Highly partisan this evening.
Boy, Litke just drew a penalty from Jungles. Edina faithful not happy, but you can hear the Minnetonka skipper. They're going to get a power play.
Absolutely, as the skipper's able to touch up, or Hornets rather,
That's going to be a holding penalty to Jungles. Jungles and Litke went into the boards pretty hard, and it was Jungles that went down and grabbed the foot of Litke, wouldn't let him go. So a good call by the official, but now we're going to see that Minnetonka power play. That's hovering around 32.3. They've been successful 20 of 62 times. Very impressive. The Edina penalty kill, always a stingy 86.3%. So something's got to give, but Minnetonka, great opportunity. Face off to Hoag's right, 15:34 left in the second period. Minnetonka up by 1 on the power play.
Bayless will take the face off against Chorsky. Is poked back toward the point, gets it back to Doctor. Doctor to Bayless. Bayless working his way around in. Streeter trying to work his way around as it's loose and through the blue as Bayless will try to corral it. Will to hold the zone once again. Here's Doctor with it. Doctor back to Lidke. Lidke. Doctor with it. He tries to get it around Malmquist. Bayless will take it back. Bayless back to Doctor. Bayless working his way in. Bayless with a shot that's blocked by Boltman. Streeter gets it back to Bayless. Long cross-ice pass for Lidke, who whiffed on the shot. Trying to tie that one up with Chorsky as it works its way back behind the net as Streeter plays it back around to Bayless on the near side. Doctor able to hold the zone for Minnetonka. It's Bayless back to Streeter, works his way around the net. To Lidke. Lidke circling. Back to Bayless. Good job by Boltman to break in there to finally snap that monotonous sequence, and the Edina able to clear.
And they're getting some fresh legs out there. Really good kill so far by Edina. Good possession by Minnetonka, not getting into the scoring area yet, though.
Well, Streeter dumps this one down in deep, but they almost able to catch the Hornets on a line change. The shot by Krull through traffic. That was blocked and cleared out by the Hornets.
Well, that was a big block by Williams. Edina not afraid to get in front of the shot. They're trying to help their goaltender, but Minnetonka just 33 seconds to do some damage on the power play. They've looked pretty good so far, but they haven't got that quality scoring opportunity they've been looking for.
This Miller's shot will go wide of the net off the end board. It comes back around to the near side. Krull getting it back to Miller. Miller's shot was blocked, but he's able to get it down low and unable to be cleared out by the Hornets. Working in there is Williams to poke that one away. 10 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Krull with it again. Krull shot blocked. Nice job getting down on the ice by Morton to block that one. And power play comes to an end. Edina back at full strength. And with speed is Vorlicki into the offensive zone. Vorlicki on the drive. Save by Glockner and cleared out. Edina able to maintain the offensive zone. Head for Kittleson. Kittleson into the offensive zone, trying to work his way around Reiners, but Reiners doing a good job of getting between him and the goaltender.
Well, and Kittleson's got a nice east-west game, too. Just try to put the puck to an area and skate to it, but it was Reiners that held his edges. He used his strength and rode him off the play. Reiners, I believe, was Edina's best defenseman back at Pagel, and it looks like that trend is continuing for that young man. Big kill for Edina. Hornets 13-13 left in the second period. Face off to Hoag's left.
Henry will take the face-off against Chorsky, and now Henry kicked from the circle. Both are booted from the circle, rather. And now Lacombe will jump in there as the centering feed, the opposed Malmquist sent down to the near side corner. The battle ensues down in the near side corner as we're about to pass the 4-minute mark here of the second period. It's back down to the near side. The play is stopped as the net came loose.
Well, good play by Chorsky, actually minding his defensive responsibilities, really cut off that play. Minnetonka had possession along the end wall, but Chorsky came in, used that big frame of his to separate, and Edina came back with some speed, but net off the mooring, so they whistled that one down. Edina's going to get some fresh legs out there, and it looks like it's going to be Lagerback against Nevers on the face-off. Big face-off for both teams. Possession very, very important in this game, and it all starts at the face-off dot.
Lagerback pushes the face-off back into the neutral zone. Comes Jungles up the near side. Jungles opposed by Doctor. Doctor will knock Jungles away from the puck behind the Edina net as it comes back around to the near side corner. There's Shoemaker. Doctor just throwing his body all over the place to keep Shoemaker off that puck.
Well, Shoemaker brings that physical presence I think Coach Kurt Giles wants on that line.
It's Lagerback into the offensive zone with Boltman in front of him, and looks like Boltman will win that battle as Edina brings it back the other way into the neutral zone. Shoemaker along the far side boards will work it up into the corner. It'll come back around to the near side. Boltman taken away by Doctor. Doctor working his way out to neutral ice. He'll gain the offensive zone. He'll take a shot that's blocked. It'll go off the glass. Held in on the other side of things by Newhouse. It works its way back around the net. Edina gets it back out to the neutral zone. Doctor there to get it in his own zones. He gets it up toward Lagerback at the blue line. Lagerback gets it down to the near side. Newhouse saved by Hoag.
Oh, boy. Boy, that's a nice feed by Lagerback up to Newhouse. Newhouse tried to put it between the wickets of Hoag, but Hoag closed that gap in a hurry. Boy, that's a big save. That would have been a really big goal by Minnetonka, but Edina goaltender kept that puck out of the net. That's what good goalies can do. They pick your team up when the wheels are wobbling a little bit, and Edina's wheels were wobbling just a tad.
11:49 to go here in the second period. It's off the face-off. It'll work its way back around the Hornet net. There's Gunnar Johnson up in the corner, pokes it back out to neutral ice. As Miller getting harassed by a couple of Hornets, able to get it down to the near side, and Henry, who will work it behind the net. There's a hit put on behind the net by Motzko. Henry unable to hold the zone or the skippers.
Well, it was Rugemer that sent that puck into the neutral area, but it was Krull that actually stepped up, tried to maintain the zone. Really good quickness by Krull to get on that puck as quick as he did, but it just snuck out of the zone. So a bit of a break for the Hornets, but it allows both teams to get some fresh legs out there. Lagerbach against Chorsky on the faceoff. Or Kittleson against Chorsky on the faceoff.
Pushed back into the Edina zone as here's Bayless with that speed, able to catch up to it. Backhand shot, it's still loose in front of Hogan, now swept up into the corner. Bayless, that was all speed there to make that play happen. And the Edina's offensive zone with speed, trying to get it to Delaney, backhand, Glockner down as it's swept down to the near side. Chorsky able to maintain the offensive attack. Vorlicki will take a shot through traffic, they score! Mike Vorlicki ties it at 1.
Well, and a big goal was you could sense something coming. It was Minnetonka that dodged a bullet initially on that one, but Vorlicki maintained possession, walked it in and took a good shot. A lot of traffic in front of Glockner. I'm not 100% sure he saw that, but there was a good sequence by the Edina Hornets, putting good pressure on the Skippers. Finally something gave, and it's Vorlicki that scored that one, and for Vorlicki, that's goal number 4. Boy, a welcome addition back to the Hornet lineup. Boy, it's a whole new ballgame. Even 11 minutes left in the second period. Edina's got some juice now. Vorlicki answers back.
I don't even need to do the California math on this one. That's a 6-minute mark of that goal. As it's sent down to the near side.
Now Minnetonka's going to give a pushback. That's what good teams do.
Absolutely, and we've seen how well Minnetonka came out to start this period. They really wanted that second goal. Didn't get it. Now the game is tied at 1, but as you say, Bart, this is what great teams live for. We'll see how the Skippers respond. There's Nevers trying to get it to Jungles. It's puck tipped away there, and Minnetonka retakes possession. Doctor up the near far side. Doctor with a shot that's saved by Hogue and deflected up into the netting.
Well, that was actually a pretty good shot by Doctor. We've said his name a whole bunch. He's not afraid to take the puck and move. He's got a lot of confidence and a whole bunch of skill as well, but it was a good shot glove side. From our angle, I don't know if it was wide or not, but Hogue made the decision pretty easy. He held on to it, allowing both teams to get fresh legs out on the ice.
So loud. So loud in here we can't hear the whistles, and we're really not that far away from things up here.
There's a little intensity in the air tonight, Patrick.
Really, as Colby got knocked off the puck, gaining the offensive zone. It'll work its way up into the corner. Motzko then takes a hit from Colby. Back to Litke on the near side. As this pass trying to set up Motzko on the far side. Nice job getting the stick in there by Colby to disrupt that. Minnetonka into the offensive zone anyway. Here's Henry with a shot that's saved by Hogue and kicked aside.
Boy, that was a reaction save by Hogue on Newhouse. That was a pretty good save right there.
The Skipper's able to dump this one back in deep as Colby plays it around to Johnson on the far side. Johnson flips it back out into the neutral zone as the Skipper's able to poke it back the other way, and then over skating it was Newhouse. Edina able to play it in deep as a result. 9:33 to go in the second period, a 1-1 tie game. As Mike Vorlicki with his 4th of the year ties the game up. In the second period, they're coming at the 6-minute mark. Minnetonka trying to gain the offensive zone as Miller turns around and spins it into the circle where it's taken back the other direction by the Hornets. Chorsky trying to get it down to Malmquist. Malmquist centering feed for Delaney, ends up sneaking through as Delaney wasn't able to catch up to it. Nice job by the Skipper's defense to keep him from getting there. It's Malmquist in the neutral zone. As Krull trying to send it back the other way, but Chorsky will come in offside.
Well, Delaney a little bit of an overcommit into the zone, and Chorsky didn't really have much of a choice, but it allows a whistle, and again, both coaches are going to take advantage to get some fresh legs out of the ice. That's a second period shift right there. But just under 9 minutes to go, we're 1-1. Shots on goal. Minnetonka still having an advantage 12-10, but Edina showed some offensive life and forcing Charlie Glockner to make some saves. So things trending well for Edina, and Minnetonka is just business as usual. Another clean zone exit.
It's Doctor working his way through. He'll take a long shot from the blue line. That'll be gloved up by Hogue.
Well, and Loudon Hogue's done a pretty good job of making the saves. It seems like he's fighting the rebounds a little bit, and I think that's what Doctor has in mind. Just get the puck on goal. Got plenty of support down low in the blue.
Off the face-off. Trying to corral this one is Lacombe. He'll play it back through the corner. It'll work its way up into that far side boards. Edina able to flip it back out to neutral ice. Shoemaker able to send it in deep. Glockner out of his net will leave it behind for Doctor. Doctor will survey, gets it by the on-charging Jungles around to the near side. Now back out into the neutral zone. As Hendrickson able to poke this one ahead. And there's Lidke into the offensive zone. Lidke with a shot save. 3-second chance by Lagerbach, still down. As it's pushing and shoving after the play is over.
Well, We kind of expected it. Who can manage their emotions is going to be better, but it was a 2 good saves by Loudon Hogue. A little aggressive follow-up by the Skippers. Edina took a bit of an exception and sent the player into the wall, and that's when the scrum started. We'll see if anything comes out of this, but the referees are going to have to maintain control. But that's one thing that I was impressed with at Pagel Activity Center is that it was a very intense game, but they held their emotions in check. We didn't get too many dust-ups. We'll see how this one sorts out. Really no harm, no foul, but we'll see if the referees have a different interpretation. It looks like it's going to be Reiners kind of making his way to the box, so it might be a penalty just on the Edina Hornets. But it looks like there's going to be a penalty on Minnetonka as well. I'm speculating.
Hendrickson.
Yep, it's going to be Hendrickson as well. Hendrickson, the second penalty. I think that was an equitable call as it stands. But now we're going to be 5-on-5. Those two pretty big hitters in the box for both teams. And it's going to be, we're at 8:09 right now. It's going to be a 2-minute penalty. It's going to be 5-on-5, but it's 2 minutes plus the next whistle. And the way things are going, it might be a little bit longer than that. Of course, there have been some whistles, but referees got to maintain control of this game. I think that's an appropriate call.
The officials still discussing things at the scorer's table. See what they're looking to come up with. Now, before we get a little bit, just kind of shifting gears a little bit, I want to bring this up at the intermission that, you know, this year, like last year, looks like we're kind of on a collision course to see these two in the 6A final. Well, last year, Duluth East, of course, had other ideas. Who do you think could be that team that throws a wrench into the gears and we don't get that Edina Minnetonka final again?
Oh, you're talking about in March down at the X.
Absolutely.
Well, everything kind of points to it, but there's a lot of hockey to be played, and there's a lot of good teams out there. Blaine is surging. Obviously, Andover's in the mix as well. Duluth East, when Mike Randolph coached team, you can never count them out.
Yeah.
Eden Prairie, they played a tough schedule. They're probably 12-8-1. It looks pretty pedestrian, but they played some really good competition, and they fared quite well. Not always had success on the scoreboard necessarily, but that's a team that can sneak up and jump into the mix as well. But these two are definitely the perennial favorites. These teams can not only score goals in bunches, but they can play very responsibly defensively. But they're both three-zone teams that play the full 200 feet, and they're very difficult to play against. In likelihood, that could happen, but as we said, Duluth East, you can never count a Mike Randolph coach team out of the mix.
Absolutely. And with Eden Prairie in action tonight, also here on MNHockey.tv as they're playing Benilde St. Margaret's at the community center.
Again, another team that's turning in the right direction. Ken Pauly has them playing quite well.
Minnetonka's number 7, Mason Hendrickson. 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
It's going to be a 4-minute penalty.
Edina's number 21, Mason Reiners. 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike
Both
conduct.
guys are going to get those 4-minute penalties.
Double minor penalties.
Well, what it does is it kind of slows down the pace a little bit, gives both teams a chance to regroup. We're about the halfway point, just past the halfway point of this period, so not a bad reprieve for both of these teams to kind of regroup and regather. A lot of intensity out there, but I think that's an equitable call. It's going to be 4 minutes plus the next whistle, so two pretty solid players going to be out for a while for their coaches. And what this really does is it kind of messes with the continuity of the line changes when you don't have all your players. And Reiners has been one of Edina's best defensemen, especially against these Minnetonka forwards and these offensively skilled defensemen as well. But Hendrickson just goes into the dirty areas. He's got good speed and good skill. So Minnetonka, Coach Goldsworthy is going to miss him as well. But they're going to get through these challenges. Next man up, and that's the benefit of having the depth these two squads have.
The captain's now discussing the scenario with the officials.
Boy, this is taking a long time. This shouldn't take this long. But it does quell the tempers a little bit and brings down the emotions just a little bit. So probably a benefit to both teams and both coaches.
8:09 to go here in the second period. We'll have moving down into the Edina zone, or Minnetonka zone rather. It's actually going to be they're trying to figure out where to have the face-off. You have Morton standing there. They were kind of wandering down into the Minnetonka zone, but now it looks like we'll have it at that neutral ice dot.
Well, Coach Goldsworthy wants a little clarification on this one, pulling the referee over. But it should be outside the zone if it's coincidental.
Certainly, as I know you like to say, Bart, you like it when the officials will, let the coaches have their, obviously not change their mind, but, let the coach, get his say, get all the answers that he wants, give him that respect.
Well, I like that, but it's been a long time since we played, so it's good that they're going to get back to action, but I like that. Coach Goldsworthy, I don't think is too happy with what the referee had to say, but at least he got a chance to speak his piece. Might have some residual value down the way.
As Doctor rings this one around behind the net, Edina able to clear it back out into the Minnetonka zone. As Doctor will get it to Ludke from the goaltender Glockner. It's Bayless working his way in. His shot is blocked. It's a good job by Vorlicki to get on the ice and get in front of that one. That one blocked again by the Hornets. It'll work its way back up into the corner. Streeter, he almost gets tied up by Nevers. Streeter pushes it back into the corner, gets by Williams. Kittleson with it. Kittleson, there's a shot. Loose on the other side of Hogue, but no one there to clean it up. Nevers into the offensive zone for the Hornets as he got knocked off the puck nicely by that combination of Doctor and Ludke, and then that redirect almost fighting the net off Jungle's stick.
It was a good quick shot by Vorlicki, but nice stick by Jungles on that one. Kind of a trying moment for Minnetonka. They survived.
Doctor winds up for a blast. Hogue able to knock it down.
Boy, that one ripped just inside the zone left side. Got Vorlicki backing up. He gave him the zone, and he let a bullet go, but it was Hogue that came out just past the blue. So Hogue seems like he's gaining a little confidence, fighting the puck a little bit on the glove side, but he's making the saves he needs to make. That's a 16 shot for Minnetonka to 10 for Edina. So Minnetonka kind of getting back and putting pressure on the Edina goaltender, but he came up big on that just under 7 minutes to go in a tie game second period.
This Minnetonka trying to get the face-off out of the circle. They were trying to hold the offensive zone, and here come the Hornets back the other direction. Here's Boltman with speed into the offensive zone. Boltman trying to get it up toward Colby. Pass ends up in that far side corner. It'll be held in. Long shot through traffic by Johnson. Works its way down into the corner. Here's Morton will work it around the net. It'll work its way up into the corner with a stick on the ice. As Anderson plays it around to the near side. A big hit put on Duke Kiffin in the corner. As trying to center it are the Hornets, but the skipper's able to take it away. And tripping on the ice and going down was Henry as he tried to gain possession of that puck, and the Hornets send it back just out of the reach of Jackson Borston. Will have an icing and a face-off.
Well, it looked like Minnetonka might have had some speed, but he just got over the edges of his skates and went down, so that was a benefit to Edina. Otherwise, an odd man rush for Minnetonka. Boy, you just cannot turn the puck over. Basically, on these teams, it's a mini power play, so but they benefit for Edina as they ice and that sequence, but they ice the puck, so face-off to Hogue's left.
As Vorlicki controls the face-off, he'll play it all the way around to Malmquist. Malmquist with a nice pass through to Chorsky on the near side. Chorsky getting knocked off the puck by Miller. Malmquist almost able to redirect that one in.
Boy, Malmquist beat Jet Li Swift to the puck, and that would put a redirect on it. Didn't get all the wood that he wanted, but Glockner, nice presence of mind and focus to get in front of that puck, hold on to it, face off now to his right. Could have been a trying moment for Minnetonka, but again, they survived another one.
Off the face-off, there's Williams winding up for a blast. It's loose in front of Glockner, then swept up to the near side, far side boards. Williams again on the near side. Williams trying to center it for Chorsky, and that snuck through. As Chorsky almost finding that one in the slot. Delaney couldn't quite get a handle on it as he was tied up. And the skipper's able to bring it back into the offensive zone. It's chipped down to the near side corner. As Vorlicki trying to get this one ahead, he will get it out of the zone.
Oh, Minnetonka got away with one on that one. Could have been an interference penalty on Delaney.
That's Krull trying to get this one into the neutral zone. Williams sends this one back the other way ahead of Miller. Miller back to pick it up, right, his own net. Krull will send this one through, and then I'll go for an icing.
I think one thing working against the Edina Hornets is just the spacing. There's too much room between the defense and the forward, so giving Minnetonka a lot of room to move, but Minnetonka sends the puck all the way down the ice. Now the faceoff is going to be to Glockner's left. 5:08 left in the second period. We're not at a one. Shots on goal, 16-12, so Edina with a little offensive push, putting some pressure on the Minnetonka goaltender is what the key is here, but faceoff very important. His possession is going to be a good indicator in the last 5:08 of the second period.
Nevers taking the face-off against Bayless, pushes it up into the corner, comes around to the near side, back into the neutral zone. It'll work its way all the way down into the Edina zone for another icing.
Well, even the speed of Kittleson couldn't catch up with that one. Otherwise, it would have been a one-on-one with Gunnar Johnson, and in Minnetonka, a pretty good situation. But, another face-off win in their own zone. Minnetonka's been very strong in the dots in their own zone so far this game.
Jungles will take the face-off against Kittleson. Face-off controlled by Doctor. He'll play it around to the far side. Bayless moves this one ahead and he takes a big hit from Shoemaker. The offensive zone is Streeter. Is knocked down by Hoax and back the other way by the Hornets.
3-on-2.
Nevers with Jungles into the offensive zone. Jungles, though, slips and falls. And Lidke able to clear the zone out ahead of Bayless. Boltman back to get it. And good job by Bayless to not let that be an easy clear for Boltman. Nevers, he gets headed off by Lidke at the line. Nevers centering feed, getting it back up to Johnson. Johnson will play this one behind the net. The battle ensues again behind the net as it poked up to Doctor. Doctor up in the corner gets it off before he takes a hit. Kittleson will play this one ahead towards Streeter. Streeter getting tied up on the far side as this one almost redirects awkwardly and quite dangerously for Edina. Jungles into the offensive zone. Jungles to Nevers, and it came in offside.
Boy, both penalties, Reiners and Hendrickson out of the box now, but Edina shot themselves right in the foot. It was Rugemer that snuck in looking for some clarification from the referee. You're not going to get it on that one, but really it was a pretty good opportunity for Edina, but a benefit for Minnetonka as Edina offsides at an inopportune time. But now both coaches have a full complement of resources to work from, so we can get back to business as usual. 3:57 left in the second period. We're knotted at 1.
As Edina trying to flip this one down into the Minnetonka zone, but it's blocked. In the offensive zone is Henry, gets it to Motzko. Motzko shot is blocked off the skate of Williams. As Newhouse sends it around to the end boards. Newhouse getting tied up as it comes back up to the far side. Rugemer trying to get it ahead toward Colby. Colby into the offensive zone. Colby trying to get it down again to Rugemer, who had snuck into the slot.
That was a good stick by Motzko on that one to limit that opportunity. Good defense by the skipper.
Skipper's maintaining that really good defense when they've needed it the most. 3:18 to go here in the second period as Kiffin works it around the net. He gets tied up on that far side corner. Motzko will end up with it for Minnetonka. He tries to get it toward Henry, but it was a bad pass through Henry's skates. Down to the near side. As Colby ended up getting knocked off the puck. It's poked back into the neutral zone, now dumped in by the Skippers. As Warlicki will throw this one out into the neutral zone where it's knocked down by Lagerback. Lagerback will get it back to his teammate Miller. Miller getting tied up by Malmquist. That was Lacombe getting a shove at the blue line from Delaney, and Delaney will end up with the puck. Get it to Malmquist on the far side. Malmquist, as he works his way in, Malmquist getting tied up by Lacombe at the last second. Getting it ahead toward Lagerback, and he's able to work his way through Boltman. Yes, Delaney will take it back from behind. Delaney ahead toward Reiners. Reiners will ring it hard around the net. Malmquist on the far side. Malmquist trying to fight his way through several Skippers. And whiffing on the turnaround shot was Nevers, but he's able to maintain his puck, and then he takes a shot, and it just goes wide. Comes out in front of Delaney, still loose in front of Glockner, who's able to cover it up.
Oh, boy, that's a good save by Charlie Glockner. Edina had the numbers down low. And it was Nevers. Malmquist got it out to Delaney, and Delaney no stranger to that area. Delaney's got 16 tallies on the year, bidding for his 17th, but Glockner did a nice job of following that play, getting in front of that one and then covering it up because Edina had plenty of support down low. So nice job by the Minnetonka goaltender. 2:05 left in the second period. We're knotted at 1. Edina with an offensive zone faceoff. Big faceoff for the Skipper team. Both teams want to finish very strong this period.
Nevers has the face-off. Well, it was just a shot off the face-off by Shoemaker. Spoke back out into the neutral zone. His Doctor will play this one all the way around. Under 2 minutes to go in the period. Streeter trying to make something happen, but it's taken away by Nevers. Nevers. Toward Boltman. Boltman will work this one through as it gets by Jungles. It works its way all the way down. A good job by Lidke to tie up Jungles. It's Kittleson. Kittleson working his way with Streeter. It gets out ahead as Jungle's able to send this one back the other direction. Shoemaker. Into the offensive zone with Nevers. Here's a shot that's saved up into the netting by Glockner.
Well, Shoemaker was looking for Nevers, but it was Litke that actually challenged him. He got that shot off, not the shot that he wanted, but a nice busy stick by Litke thwarted what could have been a pretty good opportunity. I like the way that Shoemaker held out of the puck and really took the shot because Never was covered. Otherwise, it could have gone the other way. So a very responsible play by Shoemaker. 1:24 left in this first period. Face off again to Glockner's right, the other left.
As Morton will take the face-off for Edina, and the Hornets see the face-off trickle back into the neutral zone. Williams gets it up ahead toward the blue line. It's knocked away by the Skippers. Here's Miller into the offensive zone. As it's sent back the other way, back into the neutral zone by Vorlicki. As Motzko looking to reverse direction for Minnetonka. Motzko running his way through two Edina defenders, working his way around as we go under a minute to go in the period. It's Henry. Henry up in the corner. Got Newhouse with him. Vorlicki takes it away. 50 seconds to go. Vorlicki trying to fight his way through on the near side boards in front of the benches, but again knocked off the puck there as the puck trickles down. Here's Colby into the offensive zone with it. Colby working its way around the net with Miller behind him as it's taken away by the Skippers.
Nice dangle.
It's Newhouse the other way with Lagerback. Newhouse into the offensive zone as this shot is deflected high up. It'll stay in play. Edina able to clear it out, and we'll go for an icing. We'll have another face-off deep in the Edina zone.
Boy, very athletic play by Hunter Newhouse exiting the zone. Did a nice dangle to create some space and brought the puck out with some energy. Edina sends it all the way down the ice, 22.2. Big face-off for both teams right now. Minnetonka with a great opportunity to finish this period with a little momentum, even putting pressure on. But, boy, what an opportune time for Minnetonka to put some pressure on home.
Face-off comes down to the near side. Hendrickson got knocked down.
It's a big win.
And Jungles up the near side boards into the offensive zone where he got the puck taken away from him. Here's Lacombe into the offensive zone. Lacombe shot save. Second chance pushed wide. Lagerback will catch up to it, trying to center it. It's blocked. 3 seconds to go in the period. It's Lacombe in the corner trying to center it, but it's taken away by the Hornets, and that'll bring us to the end of the second period.
Well, kind of a dicey moment for the Edina goaltender, going side to side on his pillows. Not a lot of opportunity to make that save, but kept the puck out of the net, and that's his primary job. We're about 15 minutes away from the drop of the puck in the third period. We're knotted at 1. Scoring summary for the period. I'm going to jump the route here. It's Vorlicki from Williams and Delaney at the 6-minute mark. That's what tied the game. Shots on goal now. Minnetonka 18. Edina closing the gap to 15. But again, that was kind of a 50-50 period. I think both teams showed up to play. Minnetonka had the advantage in the first, but I think that was a wash in the second. Promises to be a terrific third period. It's going to be an interesting first 5 minutes of that period because both teams are going to come out with a lot of energy, Patrick.
Absolutely, and we talked about certainly no bearing on tonight's game, but Minnetonka with those struggles in the third period gave up 4 against the Hornets last time out 2.5 weeks ago. Gave up 1 against Wayzata late, that resulting in that game in a tie, and then of course Eden Prairie with that third period comeback as well. So we'll see how the third period goes tonight. You're watching MNHockey.tv coverage, Minnetonka and Edina.
Minnetonka's first goal now is Doctor, his 10th from Ludke and from Hendrickson. Time of that goal was 14:50 in the first period. Series in the second period, Minnetonka's Charlie Glockner with 9 saves for a 2-period total of 14 saves, and Edina's Loudon Hogue with 12 saves in the second period for a 2-period total of 17 saves. tonight we have a special super fan award tonight for Paul Nitz. Paul's been supporting the team for years. We want to thank you for coming out and supporting Edina hockey every single game. How about a round of applause for Paul Nitz, sitting way up at the top up there. Paul, I got a gift card for you and an Edina hockey hat. We also have another winner to announce tonight. The Edina Bantam AA team hosted a fundraiser for the Minnesota Wild, the blind hockey team. And the money raised today, thank you to all the fans from Minnetonka and Edina who submitted and who helped us with this tonight. We really appreciate it. The money will be used to purchase unique pucks for the blind players. So thanks to everybody who did it. Tonight we raised $2,500. So thank you, Minnetonka and Edina, for coming together for blind hockey players. And so we had a raffle. You remember there was a raffle. If you got your ticket, now's the time to pull it out. The winning raffle for this is the signed hockey stick from Mikko Koivu, who will have a lot of time to sign hockey sticks for the next 2 months. The winning number is 3662718. Okay, I see the kid on the front row definitely did not win. Let me read the number again. 3662718. And then it says call Jenny. I don't know what that is. Congratulations. You can pick up your signed stick out in the lobby. 2 minutes, and we'll figure out who's going to win this exciting game. Thank you all for being out here on a very cold night at Braemar Arena. We have a final score from the girls' quarterfinal in the sections. The Edina girls beat Hopkins Park 4-0 tonight to move on to the semifinals. Congratulations to the Edina girls.
Set to start the third period in about a minute here. We're kind of checking out some of the stuff on the out-of-town scoreboard. For those who might be interested in the Eden Prairie game, they lead 4-2 in the third period over at the community center.
Yeah, we also have Stillwater and with a 5-2 winner over Cretin-Durham Hall. Wayzata with a big 8-2 win over Hopkins. And congratulations to the Edina girls. They won their quarterfinal game 4-0 against Hopkins tonight, so they're going to be moving on. So congratulations to them. We got a pretty good one going on right here, Patrick. Doctor opened the period in the first period, scoring his 10th from Litke and Kittleson at the 14:50 mark. And then Edina answered back with Vorlicki, his 4th from Williams and Delaney at the 6-minute mark. In fact, Kittleson, I believe they modified that assist to Hendrickson as opposed to Kittleson. Don't want to take any credit away from anybody's shots on goal that period. Minnetonka 12, 2-period total of 18, and Edina with 10, 2-period total of 15. Edina started to kind of find their offensive rhythm. Keys to this third period is just watch how teams exit their zone. Edina's being successful getting out of their zone, but they're contested every step of the way. Minnetonka taking great angles. Edina allowing Minnetonka a little too much space. They're getting out of their zone quite efficiently, so the neutral zone is going to be very important in this third period.
Of course, Minnetonka in 2AA and Edina in 6AA. We want to think about how this game might impact those seedings later on down the road. Of course, not directly affecting each other in that manner.
Correct, and I think that we're late enough in the season, Patrick, where I can't imagine anybody would unseed these two top seeds in their respective sections. I think, it's what follows after that is what is still to be determined to a certain degree. It's going to be a great 17 minutes moving forward and possibly even more, but we're getting ready to go for this third period. Here we go.
That's Nevers against Kittleson, controlled by Edina as Boltman sends this one ahead. Nevers into the offensive zone. Nevers works his way around and his shot saved by Glockner.
That's a big save right out of the gate.
Mason Nevers, and talked about, remember a couple months back, he had that number 2 play on SportsCenter against Eden Prairie at the Holiday Classic. Play maybe not entirely unlike that one, as here come the Skippers rather into the offensive zone. It's chipped up into the corner as Reiners will play it around toward Shoemaker on the near side. It'll get by Shoemaker. It'll work its way all the way down into the Minnetonka zone for an icing.
Well, I think Edina's just content to make sure the puck stays out of their zone. Minnetonka, about the most dangerous team in the state of Minnesota in the offensive zone, but they're going to have success in the dots, especially when they have an own zone faceoff. Great opportunity for this Minnetonka Skipper squad to kind of take back the early momentum that Edina gained off that never sequence.
As the face-off controlled by Edina once again as Williams trying to get it ahead toward Malmquist. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Delaney, he gets knocked off the puck nicely by Doctor as he tries to circle the net. And the Skipper's able to take it away behind the net. This one up toward Hendrickson. Hendrickson getting it toward Lacombe, who couldn't quite get that pass. It was a little bit behind him. That's Chorsky trying to push it back the other direction. He'll send it to Doctor instead. There's Lidke. He sends it down to the near side. Edina able to send this one back the other way as it deflects in off the stick of Chorsky. As Lidke will play it behind his own net. 15:47 to go in regulation. This one goes off the skates of Motzko to Newhouse into the offensive zone. There's a shot that's blocked as it works its way down to Malmquist, who will bank it back out into the neutral zone. Doctor throw this one ahead toward Motzko. Motzko battling through Williams into the offensive zone. Motzko with a shot. That one just goes wide. What a play by Mac Motzko there.
Well, and Delaney just sent it down. They needed a change of pace, but it was Williams that caught an edge on that one. Numbers advantage to Minnetonka, and as you said, it was Motzko that walked out. I think it was a wide shot on the glove side of Loudon Hogue, but it was wide. But trying moment for Edina. They dodged that bullet, but really a nice sequence by Motzko on that one to get that shot off.
Newhouse in the face-off circle against Morton, pushed up into the corner. The Hornets will play it around to the near side. This one out of the reach of Borst. As Anderson racing to track it down, but it will be gotten there first by Borst. Anderson trying to play it back the other direction. As Minnetonka with Henry trying to break out. Henry into the offensive zone. This one chipped back into the Edina zone as they bring it out to the neutral zone. As this one played around by Rugemer, Lochner out of his net and almost had his pocket picked there by Colby. Boltman high in his own zone, trying to play it up ahead, but it's blocked by the Skippers. And then a nice forecheck at the blue line keeps the puck out of the Edina zone. It's Kroll trying to send this one ahead toward Henry, who will throw it in deep, and Minnetonka will change. As the Hornets play it off the far side boards, trying to get it up ahead toward Nevers. Nevers trying to get it down to Shoemaker on the near side. That hard pass out of his reach. Shoemaker opposed by Doctor. Centering feed comes out of Jungles, who has the shot is saved by Glockner. Reiners with a shot through traffic, and that one's held onto in the midsection of Glockner.
Boy, it was a really nice sequence. It was Shoemaker that went down low, kicked that puck back out to Jungles. Jungles tried to go Blocker side, but Glockner came out and challenged him. One-on-one battle. Glockner won that one. But Edina looks like they have a little better purpose right now. They have 3 shots on goal early in this third period, and they've made Charlie Glockner make some saves. He's answered the bell on each one so far.
There's Delaney with the turnaround shot. That'll go wide. Lidke behind his own net with it for Minnetonka. Lidke with speed through the neutral zone into the offensive zone, and his shot is blocked by Boltman. He's able to get the second chance, and Hogue has to make the save. Streeter maintains possession for Minnetonka. As he gets knocked off the puck by Chorsky. Kittleson turnaround shot, and Hogue again has to make the save. As Reiners will play it around to Malmquist on the near side. Another great sequence for Minnetonka there. Oh, what a pass behind Chorsky as Malmquist shot through traffic. Delaney couldn't quite find the rebound.
Boy, nice save by Glockner. Nice clear as well.
As Minnetonka getting it up toward Bayless. Bayless will flip this one into the neutral zone. As Miller with it now for Minnetonka. Miller into the neutral zone. Miller now brings it into the offensive zone and rips a shot snag with the glove by Hogue.
Well, it was a nice dancing through some traffic by Miller. He gained the zone, took a shot just inside the blue line, but Hogue looked very confident on that save, just received it in his glove, held onto it. Both teams allowing themselves to get some fresh legs out of the ice, but Minnetonka, pretty nice answer on that one. But Miller did a nice job of dancing through some traffic. He's been known to do that. Everybody talks about Doctor and Lidke, but they got a couple of defensemen that can play as well.
As Rugemer gets it to Colby. Colby's shot was blocked. Colby, they score! Peter Colby gives Edina their first lead of the game. It's 2-1.
And Colby, that's his sixth goal. I don't think he scored a bigger one. He's fired up, as is the Edina bench, but that's why you play to the whistle. It was Colby that actually whiffed on the first one, but then the follow-up, Glocker being a little bit vulnerable on that one, he just put it into the open net. Now it's 2-1 Edina, 13:06. And Minnetonka, a good team, they're going to give a pushback, so Edina better be ready. But Edina with some serious energy right now, but Minnetonka's got to come back and answer. That doesn't mean they have to score. They just have to put some pressure on Loudon Hogue and force him to make some saves to get that mojo back.
That one coming at 3:54 of the third period. Edina with their first lead as Motzko gets this one out ahead toward Newhouse. Newhouse into the offensive zone, winding up for a blast as Lidke. It's blocked. Lidke centering feed ends up bleeding through down to the near side. Doctor back in the neutral zone with it. So Colby putting Edina on top for the first time in the game here in the third period at 2-1. There's Jungles into the offensive zone. There's a shot save off the stick of Shoemaker.
Boy, another good save by Glocker in this third period. Edina's coming in waves.
As Jungles get this one ahead toward Evers, who just missed on the turnaround shot. This one for Motzko gets through him. It's Newhouse. He gets tied up. Play this one down in deep. It'll work its way around the Hornet net. As Johnson surveys, gets this one up ahead. This will sneak all the way through for an icing.
Well, just a misplay by the Edina defender. Going to bring the faceoff all the way down. 12:05 left in regulation time. Just a little bit of a misplay by Edina. But a great opportunity for Minnetonka with an offensive zone faceoff. It's going to be Kittleson in the dot against Chorsky. And Minnetonka's had good success in the faceoff circle so far. Big faceoff for the Edina Hornets right now.
The faceoff controlled by the Hornets. Played around by Vorlicki to Malmquist on the near side. Malmquist pokes it back out into the neutral zone where Krull plays it in deep. Hogue out of his net. Gets it to Vorlicki. Vorlicki overskated it a little bit, and Kittleson able to tie up the play as a result. Comes around to Malmquist on the near side. Malmquist pass intercepted. Backhander by Krull was blocked by Williams. Williams with it now. Williams plays it into the neutral zone. Malmquist, can he catch up to it? Malmquist is able to catch up to the puck. He had to slow down on the play, though, as he gets tied up. And Skipper's just trying to get this puck out of there any way they can as Delaney through the corner. Back down to Bayless on the near side. Vorlicki holds the zone for Edina. Getting it up toward Chorsky up top. It's Williams. There's Vorlicki. Vorlicki back to Williams. There's a shot through traffic. That'll go high over the net. 11:10 to go in regulation. Vorlicki able to hold the zone. They'll play it through the corner. As Chorsky took a hit in the corner, and the puck was able to get by him as a result. It's Krull through the zone. He'll dump it in deep at the red line. Oh, they're going to say he didn't quite cross, and it's going to be an icing.
Boy, I was wondering if they're going to call that. He got to the zone, and they've been letting that one go, but kind of a break for the Edina Hornets as Krull was just trying to get a line change, just dump it in deep. But now the faceoff comes all the way down to Charlie Glocker's right. We're just 5 ticks under 11 minutes to go in regulation time. Again, another great opportunity. Boy, faceoffs are just going to become more and more important as this game goes on, but Edina really putting the screws to Minnetonka in this third period early. Up to the Skippers to answer.
Edina able to push the face-off back up into the corner. Lidke around the net. 10:45 to go in regulation. And the Skipper's looking to bring it up ice as Doctor got tied up from behind, and the puck ends up floating into Reiners. Reiners will play it back the other way into the bench.
Well, Reiners did a nice job of just trying to chip it up, but it went up off Morton's stick into the Skipper's bench, so it's going to come out to center ice, I believe, on that one. But Edina's just doing a nice job of really challenging Skippers on their zone exits. It's something they were unsuccessful in the second period, but it looks like they found their rhythm, they found their stride. They're really making it difficult for Minnetonka, which came quite easy in the first two periods. It's become very difficult now.
Doctor gets it back to Lidke. Lidke into the offensive zone. Lidke will try to circle his way around as he tries to get it to Henry. Henry was tied up briefly, and the puck was not quite within his reach anyway. Motzko trying to poke it to Newhouse.
Oh, boy. What a play.
There's Nevers. It's it up to Jungles. Jungles back toward Nevers, but Nevers got knocked off the puck. Nevers will chip it through the corner, back around to Jungles. Jungles past Nevers. It's intercepted by the Skippers and poked back out to neutral ice. Looking to send it back the other way with Johnson. There's Newhouse into the offensive zone for Minnetonka. Newhouse with a shot save, and Motzko can't quite catch up to the rebound.
Boy, it was a shallow angle rebound, but it hopped Motzko's stick. Otherwise, he might have been able to feather that one in, so he didn't caught a break on that.
As Jungles will take this one through neutral ice. He'll dump it in deep. 9:42 to go in regulation. As Glockner will throw this one all the way. It's intercepted and sent back in by Williams. 9:35 to go in regulation. Skippers deep in their own zone as Kroll trying to get this one toward Kittleson. Skipper's able to get that one in onside. Williams plays it back behind the net to Vorlicki. To Delaney. Delaney will send this one out. Kroll knocks it down with the hand and plays it back in deep. Might have gotten in on Hogue a little bit. I'm not quite sure. As Chorsky at the blue line got knocked off the puck as it sent back the other direction. It's Williams. To the head to Malmquist in the offensive zone, who had to reverse direction with Kroll in front of him. Malmquist had to get around Kroll. He'll circle the net. Malmquist working his way into the middle. To Williams. Williams with a shot wide. Down into the corner. 8:43 to go in regulation. Vorlicki unable to hold the zone, but he'll chip it back in deep, and Edina will change. It's Kroll with a long pass. This will get off one of the Edina players, so no icing here. 8.5 minutes to go as we pass the midpoint of the third period. It's Minnetonka able to take it away in the offensive zone. Hendrickson, as he gets tied up from behind by Williams. His way into the corner. Colby, who has the go-ahead goal. We get to Rugemer. Rugemer as it deflect down into the near side corner. As Doctor puts a hit on him there. Colby, play it around the net. It'll bounce up into that corner. As Lacombe able to take it away, he'll play it through. Hendrickson will push it into the offensive zone. Reiner's trying to tie the play up there. 7:52 to go in regulation. Lidke with a long shot from the point that'll go out of play.
Well, Edina doing a nice job of turning the play up, but Minnetonka put a shot on goal, good support, but it was Hogue that elected to keep that one. Pretty easy save for him. We're not at 22 shots apiece now. Edina holding an advantage where it's most important. 2-1, 7:48 left. So time is going to become an issue for the Skipper team because Edina, everybody gives them accolades about their offense. They play a pretty sound defensive game too. So Minnetonka's got to get something happening here pretty quick.
Played around to the near side. Doctor unable to hold the zone as Shoemaker able to thread it through. Motzko will get this one ahead into the offensive zone. Motzko will take it back. Motzko with a shot saved by Hogue.
Boy, that was a nice sequence between Newhouse and Motzko as Newhouse had the puck, drew the defender, and then kicked it back to Motzko, and he put a good shot into the Edina crest of the Edina goaltender. So not a terribly difficult save, but they're getting into the scoring areas. That's the important thing. It's when the chances aren't there is when you tend to worry. As long as you're getting some shots and you're forcing the goaltender to make a play, you're doing some good things. But 7:32 now, face-off to Hogue's left.
Kittleson in the face-off circle against Nevers, controlled by Edina. Your Shoemaker up the near side. As his entering pass is blocked. He played off the end boards by Minnetonka up to Lidke. Lidke gets it out into the neutral zone. Kittleson into the offensive zone. He tries to work his way around Williams. Back to Bayless. Bayless plays it back the other way as Vorlicki trying to poke this one ahead. And it will be able to be held in by the Skippers.
That was a good keep on that one.
Absolutely, just by the last piece of plastic on that puck. They're under 7 minutes to go in regulation. There's Nevers working his way through neutral ice. Nevers into the offensive zone. Nevers trying to get it down to Malmquist, and I think almost split the difference between Glockner and Malmquist, and Glockner had to stick the stick out to deflect that one away. Lagerback, haven't called his name much this evening. He's not since the early going as he's trying to fight his way through. Lagerback will get it up in that corner as Chorsky there to tie him up. Lagerback able to maintain possession as Hendrickson trying to fight his way through Williams. It comes around to the near side, 6:15 to go. It's Lacombe with it. Lacombe trying to center it. It'll come loose out front as whacking away at it is Lagerback, and there he is making that play that comes out of nowhere. There's Delaney getting tied up by Kroll. Getting tied up again in the corner by Kroll as the puck trickles its way free. It's Lacombe down to Hendrickson on the near side in front of the benches. Hendrickson gets to say hello to his opponents, and just missing on the redirect was Lagerback.
Well, as Lacombe, good presence of mind. He knew that Teddy Lagerback was streaking toward the net, just put it out for a nice redirect. He did get wood on it, not as much wood as he wanted to get, but that one stayed out of the goal, so Loudon Hogue helped his team, but really pretty good pushback by this Minnetonka team in the last 2 minutes. They've really got Edina bottled up in the zone. They've got a couple good looks. If they can keep that up, force the goaltender to make a save, that's exactly what they need to do, but time is becoming even more of an issue for this Minnetonka team. Edina just content to chip it out of the zone and regroup.
5:42 to go in regulation. Neutral zone face-off coming. Minnetonka gains the offensive zone. Henry with a shot. Rebound cleaned up by Edina. They'll try to push it back the other direction. Taken away by Henry. Motzko trying to join the fray as well, but the Hornets not quite able to clear. There's Lidke. Lidke getting it to Henry. As Motzko tripped a little bit. And Edina will retake possession as Morton will chip this one out of play.
Well, got a little aggressive on that one. Had the gap wedge when he needed the 7-iron, but Edina weathered that storm, but they're just over pursuing the puck. It's all from effort. They're trying almost too hard, if that makes any sense, but they're over pursuing the puck, and Minnetonka just a little misdirection creates some space. Edina's going to have to clean up their defensive zone play.
5:15 to go in regulation. 2-1 Edina with the lead on the goal by Colby here in the third period. It's Miller. Miller winds up. That shot is blocked by Shoemaker. As Bayless trying to force this one back in deep. As Warlicki pokes it up toward Jungles. Jungles will work his way through and they'll get it into the offensive zone. As Miller sends it back the other way. It goes off the skates of Kittleson. Williams trying to send it in deep, and it'll be out of play.
Well, Edina get a little aggressive on the clears. They're just content to chip it off the glass and out. But a couple have kind of made it to the stands, so we're going to regroup. Both teams going to do wholesale changes. Faceoff is going to be at center ice. But now 4:49, so we're under 5 minutes to go. This is getting to be kind of crunch time for Sean Goldsworthy and this Minnetonka Skippers team. They're only one good effective shot down, and they've had opportunities, but Hogues answered the bell for the Edina Hornets when called upon.
It's Doctor and Lidke trying to team up. Doctor into the offensive zone where Chorsky takes it away. Lidke able to intercept and hold the zone. Lidke with a shot that's blocked. Doctor trying to get it back up toward Lidke in the corner. Got Lager back down there as well as Boltman, who was a good job tying up Lidke, and that'll draw the ire of the Minnetonka faithful. As Delaney able to gain the offensive zone. 4:20 to go in regulation. Lidke into the offensive zone with Lagerback. Lidke with a shot, save, rebound, sneaks down into the corner.
Boy, Edina a little soft at their blue line.
It'll work its way back up to the far side corner. It comes loose out front. Lecomey with a shot is loose in front of Hogue, who's pokes it away. It's still loose in front of Hogue. It trickles back down in front of Malmquist, who will be able to play a stop because I think, it's so hard to hear in here. Even the players couldn't hear that play was stopped as the net came loose.
Well, a very trying moment for the Edina goaltender. He kept the puck out of the net, but it was Mason Hendrickson that saw opportunity. He went right for the net, which is the right play to do. Warlicki took exception, pushed him into the goal, knocked it off the boards. So faceoff is going to be down to the Edina zone. We're under 4 minutes now, but Minnetonka pressing, Edina holding on. Shots on goal now 26-22 Minnetonka. So the last 4 shots have come off the stick of Skippers. So they're trending the right direction. They just got to punch one in.
Williams rings it around. Minnetonka unable to hold the zone as Krull couldn't quite knock it down. Skippers will push this one past Williams back into the offensive zone. Newhouse takes it away, trying to center it. Hogue, I don't think he knew where it was. I think he looked back into the net. I think he wondered if it was there.
Well, the lazy passes from Edina in their own zone. These little sauce passes, kisses off the board. You gotta send it. You can't give this Minnetonka. They have too much stick skill to be able to try to pull those plays off consistently. So Minnetonka, great opportunity as the time clicks down.
Newhouse will take the face off against Never. 3:40 to go in regulation. 2-1 Edina, and now both will be kicked from the face-off circle.
Jungles and Henry now on the dot.
That's Newhouse trying to control for Minnetonka, still loose. Edina able to come out with it briefly as Jungles, though, has it sent back the other direction.
That's a hand pass.
And they're just kind of...
Clock is ticking. Clock has been Minnetonka's enemy. It's better to take the whistle now.
Now they do take that.
Well, they should have blown the whistle actually earlier, and as you said, Patrick, sometimes it's kind of hard to hear, but But Minnetonka, it's not only the Edina Hornets that they're trying to play right now, but it's the clock is becoming really an issue, so to speak. 3:20 left in regulation time. Referees are discussing right now, but both teams get a chance to regroup and get some fresh legs out there. Minnetonka, one final push. We'll keep an eye on Charlie Glockner. My guess is around the minute-and-a-half mark, so we got a ways to go on that, assuming that the score stays the way it is. But Minnetonka really put on some good pressure from Edina, on Edina, but that's what good teams do. When push comes to shove, they raise their game, and that's exactly what Minnetonka did when they had to.
Not to put the cart before the horse, but if this is a championship preview, what a game we've had this evening.
Oh, faceoff's going to come outside the zone. That's equitable because it would have been a hand pass. The faceoff would have been actually probably down in the Minnetonka zone, so equitable. But boy, that was a long delay. Gave both teams a chance to regroup, reset, and get some energy back.
Kittleson wins the faceoff for Minnetonka against Nevers. Doctor, who has the Minnetonka goal, has his shot blocked by Reiners out of play.
Well, and that's what Reiners does. He doesn't show up a lot on the scoreboard, but he just does the little dirty things that really his coaches take notice of. Getting in front of a Grant Doctor shot is not a bad call, and that one up and out of play. It was off the Edina shin pad, so it is going to be to Loudon Hoag's right. 3:13 left in regulation.
Bayless will take the face-off against Nevers. Still loose in the circle. Reiners tried to control it, but it's poked down into the corner. Kittleson going to battle through. Nevers will take possession of it. Nevers flips this one out to neutral ice, and this will go all the way down for an icing. And another face-off in the Edina zone.
But again, another 20 seconds off the clock. We're down to an even 3 minutes. Didn't mean to talk over you, Patrick. I'm just kind of getting excited here. Final 3 minutes of a late conference game. Edina up by 1 in their own backyard. And Minnetonka really turning up the heat on this Edina team. Edina's starting to, you can tell they know the situation. They're starting to get rid of the puck a little bit quicker and not doing the possession that they did in the first part of this period.
Boltman overskates the puck a little bit, and Lagerbach able to take it away. It comes out in center, and a shot save off the stick of Lacombe.
Wow, it was a nice play by Lagerbach. The puck actually froze along the end wall. That's where the Zamboni comes out. So it was Boltman that actually overskated that puck, but it was Lagerbach that gained possession of that, put it out in front of Lacombe, and he put a nice redirect on goal. Haug with another great save for this Edina Hornet team. Not a challenging one, just a big save.
As it's poked back behind into the corner. Delaney not quite able to catch up with that one, and Minnetonka holds the zone as a long shot gloved off the stick of Lidke this time.
Yeah, I think Lidke actually got a little bit more under that one than he wanted. That a little higher than he normally does, but he got the shot on goal. Forced Loudon Hoag to make a save. He flashed the leather on that one. They're looking at that area right down there where that puck stopped on the Edina defenseman and trying to fix that. But another delay. Just you want to be fair. You don't want something like that to really have a determination on how this game comes out. So they're going to get it taken care of. But just another delay by these referees. They're just gathering some snow. That never works, but it's more of a Band-Aid. But they just have 2:42 to get through. But boy, it's going to be a trying moment for Minnetonka. They just seem very poised, and they're doing the right things. Edina chasing the play just a little bit in their own zone, but they know the situation. They see the light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully it's not an oncoming train if you're a Hornet fan.
That's always a threat as well in these kinds of games, isn't it?
Absolutely. But shots on goal at one point were 22-22, and now it's 28-22. So really Minnetonka the last 4 minutes have been in control of this play. Edina just content to chip it out of the zone and do the regroup. But, you know, that's what happens when you try to hang on. You start squeezing the sticks. You start getting rid of it a little bit quicker instead of just playing the game the way that you had success earlier in this period. But you can't play them. It's just human nature. Oh, now they're bringing out the bug spray just to kind of ice it down a little bit.
Oh, so this is going to be a little bit of an extended delay here, and all the players kind of, you know, they're antsy. They're amped. They're ready to go. They want to get this thing going.
I think the fans and the announcers feel the same way too, Patrick.
Definitely,
not
you and I
for
both.
You. But again, that's in a primary area and a lot of work around the walls. I think Edina really started to kind of take the play away from Minnetonka when they started winning one-on-one battles. It was something that Minnetonka had great success in the first period. Edina started to kind of get their legs about, but then Edina started winning the one-on-one battles early in this third period, and hence they have a one-goal advantage. Going to be an exciting 2:42, Patrick.
Absolutely, and now we are ready to go.
Here we go.
Lagerbach against Nevers in the circle. Nevers pokes the face off behind the net. It comes around to the near side. Shoemaker ahead. Ludke in front of him, and Shoemaker dumps it in deep. 2:32 to go. Lochner plays it around toward Hendrickson. Nevers will come up with it in the corner as Lidke puts a hit on him. Nevers trying to center it as it comes out toward Reiners, the redirect save by Glockner.
Oh, boy, that was a big save. It was Nevers that was in burning clock mode. Running game had it going, but he maintained possession. Got it out to Reiners. Reiners saw Nevers on the weak side, tried to do a fancy little redirect, but Glockner, the good goalie that he is, tracked that puck quite well, covered it up, and limited that offensive opportunity for Edina. Now offensive zone faceoff for Edina, big faceoff for the Skippers. 2:15 left in regulation.
As Edina able to control the face-off, Malmquist will play it toward Chorsky. Chorsky back to Malmquist. Malmquist with a shot saved by Glockner. 2:06 to go in regulation. Motzko will push it out into the neutral zone. Motzko is taken away, though, at the blue line. Chorsky into the offensive zone with Krull in front of him. Chorsky works his way around the net. 1:53 to go. Getting it up ahead toward Kiffin. Rather, that's Henry, my apologies. And here's Malmquist into the offensive zone. Malmquist trying to thread his way into the middle. Get knocked off his stick at the last moment. 1:36 to go in regulation. Near side, here's Newhouse. Glockner still in net as it's cleared back into the neutral zone. There's Doctor with it. He starts to take a couple steps toward the bench.
1:20 left.
And there he goes. Extra attacker on for Minnetonka. 1:17 to go in regulation. Play along the far side boards. It works its way around the Edina net. Henry getting tied up in the far side corner. 1:08. Lagerback down there as well as Bayless. An empty net for Minnetonka as Nevers takes it away. Nevers into the neutral zone. Under a minute to go. He throws it toward the empty net. That'll go wide. And they're going to call an icing.
Oh, boy. Well, if they're going to call it on Krull, they're going to call it on Nevers. He did a really nice job by dancing into open area and putting a shot on, one that they couldn't knock down, so very responsible. He just didn't gain the red, so 53.1 left. Minnetonka offensive zone faceoff. Glockner out of the net, so they have 6 attackers. Huge faceoff for this Minnetonka Skippers. Actually, both teams, but emphasis on Minnetonka being down by 1.
And they're going to have our timeout taken here by Minnetonka.
Good time for a timeout by Coach Goldsworthy. They have one final push. They can rest their ones, but you guarantee that it's going to be Litke and Doctor on the back line. It's just a question of whether it's going to be Bayless and Gittleson or who is going to be on the front line, but I'm sure they're going to pull out all the stops, give their team a chance to win. Edina just content to just chip it up, chip it out, watch that clock burn down, and they'll take an icing penalty with the success that they've had in this period in the dots. They don't want to, but they just want to limit the pressure of this Minnetonka Skippers team and give their goaltender a chance. They're going to have to give him sight lines in front. Minnetonka is going to try to congest that slot area, so it's up to the Edina team as a unit to block it out and let their goaltender see the puck. He's made some big saves so far to keep his team with a 1-goal advantage. He's going to probably be called on to make another huge save to keep this advantage where it is for the Hornets. It's going to be an exciting 53.1, I'll guarantee you that.
Going to feel like an eternity for a lot of these home faithful, I'm sure.
And it's going to go awful quick for the Skipper faithful and the Skipper players as well. But this is what Lake Conference is all about. One good shot away from tying this game. The challenge is in front of the Hornets to defend, and the challenge is in front of the Skippers to score.
Lacombe will take the face-off against Nevers. Face-off controlled by Edina for Licky. 50 seconds to go. Doctor able to hold the zone. Motzko. We have a stoppage of play. I think we're going to have a hand pass called here.
Oh, that's a tough call. A gutsy call by the referee. If it is a hand pass, they're going to bring it all the way down. That might mean Glockner goes back into the goal. So a huge face-off. But I thought it was a pretty good keep as far as keeping it in the zone. But if he used his hand and got it to another player, obviously the whistle's going to be blown. But Edina and Minnetonka want to have their best face-off guys out there, and more than one in case somebody gets tossed out. Huge face-off.
Face-off controlled by Edina. Glockner, of course, having to come back into the net with that offensive zone face-off for Edina. We're under 40 seconds to go. Skippers trying to get out of their zone. Comes Lidke into the offensive zone. There goes Glockner. There's a shot. That one just goes wide. Lacombe's shot rings its way around the net. Bayless on the far side. 22 seconds remaining. Doctor with a shot through traffic. Still loose in front of Hogue. And play is stopped. And have some little bit of extracurricular after that. My goodness.
Well, Lagerbach with a good cross-check after the whistle on that one, too, but both teams are guilty of little extracurriculars. They're familiar with each other, but emotions are running amok right now. It'll be interesting to see if the referees sort this out and call any infractions. Then this one's 17.4 to go in this period, but it looks like no period. Colby scored at 3:54, and Jungles finished it out with an empty net. Edina, congratulations to the Hornets. They played a sound game, won 3-1. They held Minnetonka to 1 goal, which is not an easy task. This team scored 105 goals coming into this game in 23 games, so this is a team that can put goals up in a hurry. So Edina played an outstanding defensive game, and really, honestly, 2 goals against Minnetonka. Not bad keeping Edina in their home rink to 2 goals. So both teams had some good things to draw from. Both teams respect each other. Intensity, I mean, things got a little intense toward the end, but these teams have a lot of respect for each other, and maybe they might have a third go-round, as you said, on Saturday night down at the X, but the old rule of thumb is hard to beat the same team 3 times in one season, so we'll see if that comes into play. But I can appreciate both teams for the efforts that they put forward today. It was a great, entertaining game. Thanks to everybody that joined us. Jane down in Arizona as well. We got some people down in Florida, but we appreciate you tuning in. It kind of puts the wind in our sails to bring you this service, and tonight we weren't let down. It was an outstanding contest.
Absolutely. You could put this in the game of the year